What is up? So, got a new idea to talk about in terms of language, and just to jump right into it, I think that what we gotta stop doing, especially internationally, is discouraging people from learning certain languages that we feel like are more difficult than others. Um, I've predominantly seen this in Europe, and I don't know what it is exactly, where it stems from. It could be some sort of like pretentiousness, but oftentimes German speakers, of all people, will be the first to almost disincentivize you or discourage you to learn German. And they'll basically state, you'll try to have a conversation, and I'm just generalizing because this has been my experience, this holds true pretty well, that you'll try to have, a basic dialogue, where you use your limited vocabulary. And for me, I'm A1 for sure. My level is very low in German, but I can say some basic things and have like a basic conversation, for example. But I've had experiences where I have tried to express myself and somebody will talk to me in English, and that's happened before in other languages, but it happens more so in, I'd say, French and German than others that I've tried to learn. And it's something that's quite annoying, and it's like there's this dynamic where the other side feels that they're competent enough in English that they might as well just speak English because it's easier or something, when in fact the other party is trying to connect with them in their native language, but they're not giving them that platform to do that. And all it really does is kind of break down a person's morale and motivation to learn, and to eventually acquire that language. What people don't understand is that you need those little bumps. You need to practice the failure, but just you need time, and if people can't give you that, how do they expect you to reach a level of fluidity where you could have that type of dialogue? And I used this as an example. I'm not saying that all German speakers have that quality, but I use them particularly because they often speak English as a second language. And, it's kind of, it's hard to tell because personality can come into it. You don't know if it's just somebody's like tendency to try to make things easier for you, or if they're trying to kind of, omit your, if they're, for example, if they're impatient, they might not want to wait for you to think of how to respond, or, how to express yourself, or maybe they're not interested. There's so many possibilities, so I hate to just like categorize, so easily, but that's just been my experiences, and I have limited perspective, of course, so bear that in mind. Now, I think where this could be beneficial to you, the viewer, is just recognizing that, if you are somebody that's trying to learn another language, and you see somebody that's willing to offer their, skills and competencies, especially like in the hope to also better their English, then definitely engage in those situations, because you're going to benefit tremendously, especially because it's a native speaker, and the fact that you're able to provide service back to them. So that cultural exchange is really underrated, and I think people kind of gloss over that, especially because English is so ubiquitous nowadays, and it's kind of just like reverted to just the most basic form of communication outside of social media and other technology. But still try to get out of your comfort zone. And if you have people trying to dissuade you, like, just ignore that, because it's not going to encourage you to be better or to just be more involved in the language. And that's what you really need to level up. And one person I'd really recommend to check out, unfortunately he has passed away and it's been almost 3 years now, but Lao Shu, I'm going to link his channel in the bio, and I would highly recommend to check out his strategy. He's the former late Lao Shu, I should say, but he is one of the most, I would say, like, well-known names of language learners that have just put themselves in so many positions to grow and to, like, speak all these different languages, like Somali, Thai, Vietnamese, Russian, just like more obscure languages, at least for an English speaker natively to speak. So this is really cool what he's done and what he did while he was here. Kudos to him, kudos to his family, and he just had such a good spirit. So I'd love to share what I have seen from him here, and definitely resonate with that type of vibe. So stay ambitious, that's really what I'm trying to say. Don't be dissuaded so easily, regardless of if somebody tells you if it's hard. That's good information, but if you keep hearing it, and it's something you really want to do, then make sure you're continuing regardless. Because if somebody tells you that it's hard and you stop, then it's like, okay, what did you really do? You just stopped after you ran into one roadblock. And life's full of roadblocks. If you really, really, really want something, then you're gonna have to jump over several. So that's all I got to say. If you like the videos, then consider subscribing, like, and would love to hear about your language experience. If you're interested in commenting, what language are you currently learning? How far are you along in your journey? And if you'd like to connect, because I'm always looking for people to practice with, especially Spanish, French, Ukrainian, and German. Those are good ones. Or Japanese, but now, ima shoto nihongo. Shikashu nihongo suki desu. I like a Japanese language, but I only know a little bit. But in the future, I think I can practice more. So yeah, that's all I got. Have a beautiful day, and see you in the next one. So, peace.